name's Lacey, and I'm the co-founder of Metaintro. And today we are at ETHDenver playing games with friends, with Web3 Frens. And today here with someone I'm really excited to meet, IRL, because I've been in and around his community for a while. Mm-hmm. Like I would say at least 6 months now. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome to be like IRL.
I know. Yeah, it is nice to come out of COVID, even though we've been out of it for a while. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Jason Curry. I'm the founder of Continuum. So in a nutshell, our vision is to be the global vocational school for digital workers that's free for learners and makes its money from brands and premium content on the platform.
Very cool. And just for my recollection, you guys have been around for a while, right? And as a different form maybe at one point, or maybe Web 2?
Yeah, we did a pivot. Yeah, we raised a couple $1 million at the time of our pivot. But yeah, I have a background in like building products and stuff. So I originally launched like a freelance product. But then as we worked with our community more, we discovered that everyone was interested in education. Yeah. So that's how it happened.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then we pivoted to that. So
how long ago was that?
That was, I would say, last January. So yeah, just over a year ago.
And what's your background?
So my background, I was a software engineer. I went to engineering school. I worked for Rockwell Software, and then I got into design, which is strange. But yeah, so kind of, and then most of my career has been as a product designer, and then I had a pretty decent size app development studio in New York City for like 10 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So did you use any of the talent that came from out of that app studio to build what you're building now?
I did, for sure. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So how big is the team?
We're 10 people now. Yeah.
And what does everyone do?
Let's see. So we have a decent sized development team. Yeah. Our CTO is in Riang. He's in Montreal. We have people in Singapore. Mostly everyone, I guess, development, chief of staff. We have some marketing, some people that do course creation, designer, UX, UI designer. So,
Yeah. So for people that are just hearing about your product for the first time, what would bring them to your product?
Yeah, sure. So I think the exciting thing we're doing is, most of our audience is in like emerging markets, so a lot in Africa and Southeast Asia. So we're really trying to help people that are looking to get started or are starting their journey like as a freelance digital worker. So someone who's a designer or a programmer, things like that. People are looking for an alternative career path to college that want to jump into the workforce. And I think the best thing about our platform is we have what we call a learner funnel. So we have like a top layer of like very short form content that covers a very wide breadth of subject matter, and you could come in there and take a 5 to 10 minute little course. You can take quizzes, get NFTs, earn crypto, all that stuff, and then while you're doing that, you can discover what it is you really want to do and what you don't like, versus committing to like paying a couple $1,000 for a course on Solidity or something, and then you realize afterward you don't really like it or something.
That's great. That's kind of like the TikTok algo, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely inspired by short form content and our audience, which is largely Gen Z and even like skewing toward like high school students.
Yeah.
So
what is that generation called?
Gen Z, I guess,
How do people become content creators for you?
Sure. So they can apply to become a creator on the platform. So we have a button in there. They can be a learner, and then they can say, hey, I want to create content. We have like a little short application. We have like 1,000 people on our wait list.
Wow.
But we haven't been moving through it too quickly, but we're at the point now where we're starting to get through it. So I don't want to discourage anyone from applying. Yeah. But that's how they become a creator. And then right now we sort of manually approve, is their content good? What's their background? But later on, that's something we'll move to our DAO, so people can vote on it. Like the community can vote on.
That's a great idea.
Who they want to be having as creators on the platform.
We are always looking out for content creators because we've been moving off of putting all the pressure.
I made it way too easy for you, but
it's okay. We do 2 out of 3.
Okay.
So we're moving away from putting all of the emphasis on Twitter, which has been like a quiet auditorium for the past few months. I feel like
it's just changed a bit.
Yeah,
right?
And so like as we saw like that shift, I would say maybe like 60 days ago, where all of a sudden it feels like you're shouting to an audience of nobody. We're like, okay, what other channels are important, and then how do we bring on content creators that can build up audiences in those channels? So we've been focusing on YouTube, which is what we're doing
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
TikTok has been an incredible source of traffic for us, so we put a lot of emphasis on that. We, what else are we doing? Twitch and LinkedIn Live. But through that, the idea of hiring an individual who wants to be a content creator in the Web3 space is really hard. And then somebody that makes good content, and that's somebody that can take really complex topics and in a very easy to understand bite-sized way because it's short form, you know, finding that individual is really tough. And so, but a lot of people want to be content creators. They want to be like in this space. There's just like, I feel like a gap of like simple knowledge, like editing skills, having access to like a camera and lighting and all of that stuff, which is so important because everybody works from home. And so I would assume you are going through the exact same pain points that I did like when I was hiring.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So how are you finding those individuals?
Like through our own network, I feel like, because I have a longer history of hiring than I have in other companies, and I feel like the best hires come through like friends of friends. Okay. So that doesn't necessarily mean it excludes you if you don't know someone directly, but I think it's definitely it helps to have like a warm intro. This is sort of like a pre-qualification to know that the vibe is the same or things like that. So but I think right in these days there's you can get in someone's Discord or Telegram group and get involved in their community, whatever channel they're on, YouTube and whatnot. So it's a good way to get started.
For our process, we obviously posted in our Discord, which was great, and we posted on AngelList, which was okay. It was okay. And where else did we? I would say like those we may have posted on LinkedIn as well, which was okay, but really ended up sourcing from our own community, which is like the dream, is to be able to do that fluently.
Definitely.
But it was tough, like because then you find something you like. Hey, can you make me a quick minute video? We'll pay you for it. Like I just want to do a test, right? And not everybody passes the test. Sure. Which is tough. But you want to encourage them to like continue learning, continue making content. So for you, it's like, hey, I think you're great. You have a potential to be a creator for us. Like maybe go through these courses that we have on our site to learn. Exactly. Right.
That's actually how we started. The genesis of what Continuum is because when I had my agency and we hired like over 10 years we hired like a couple hundred freelancers. So we had to like have a formal onboarding process. Like we use these tools, these are the soft skills, here's how we talk to clients. So we had, that's really where it came from. So really like practical need. So so a lot of truth to what you're saying.
It's and I think it's just also picking from the Web3 space. It's like such a small pool anyways.
Yeah, that's true,
And, but anyways, we ended up landing on a few different content creators and something that we're excited about, which total test, who knows if it will work. It could be just something good for the long run is we're bringing on different languages that will live on our YouTube, right? So like we found this content creator, we really like her. She's going to have a playlist of like all like how do I get a job in Web3 type of content, and then we're going to mimic it in Spanish, and we'll see if that works, because a lot of our traffic comes from Spanish-speaking countries, which is great. So, but then finding the content creator that can speak Spanish and communicate in Web3 and, do all of those things was so tough. Yeah, there's different ways, I guess, you could do it with, like with AI and automatic translation and stuff, but I guess you still want to, for some content, you still want to have a person that's bilingual and just comes across better for some things. But So an individual comes to your site, they start to learn. What's the goal for them? Is it to get a job in Web3? What's that like roadmap look like?
I have like an internal big giant audacious goal, which is to like raise the gross national income per capita of countries where I feel there's an imbalance around the world. Because that's one of the things I saw when I had my agency. I got frustrated. I could hire like an iOS developer in New York City, $200,000 salary, insurance and everything, $20,000 a month, and then I could go and find someone like in Nepal or Indonesia or Ukraine or whatever, and you could get like 4 of those people, and they'd have a master's degree, and they were grateful to have the work. So I just see a lot of the like global inequity with sort of salaries. And one good thing I saw that happened out of COVID or stay at home was that companies they became much more receptive to not only not just hiring people like in your city. If you're in New York, they could open it up to like the rest of the U.S. And then once they've done that, then they're opening it up to, outside of the world. And some people might think that's fair if you're in some, if you're here in the United States. But I feel like there's a little give and take that I think we can all, just to make things like flatten the curve across the globe. I think it's a good thing overall. Yeah.
Do you have any success stories that you can share?
Yeah, I have a lot of success stories that came from like my agency, which I think port to this really well. So a couple people that we got like H-1B visas for, like one from the Ukraine and one from Belarus. But the guy in the Ukraine, for example, college professor, we hired him for like $8 an hour or something on like Odesk, which became Upwork. And then today he's like, he and the other guy, they're both like, one's like senior director of technology at LinkedIn.
Wow.
Oh yeah, these guys are like super highballing,
Nice.
like super. And the other guy's in Sunnyvale at SurveyMonkey, who he's like the CTO, I think, or he was last I don't know, staff, or staff engineer. Yeah, but if you look at those classic cases like the 0 to 1, like we kind of helped with the 0 to 1, whatever, from $8 an hour to like, okay, gradually over a year or whatever to like 35. This is going back years, but yeah, that's what I see. So I think people need a good start. That's the hardest part. I think people don't know where to get started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's a big question. Is like for us with people that come into our Discord, it's like, how do I start? I think I want to be in Web3. I think I have these transferable skills. I'm not quite sure, and a lot of my time is spent just saying like, let me look at your resume and I can kind of tell you maybe what adjacent, roles like in Web3 could be good for you. But it'd be amazing to be able to point them to say, and here are these courses that you can go through that are affordable, and you can discover other courses you could be passionate about. And then all of a sudden, your resume looks great, you're going out to get a job, and then you're passing on that knowledge to somebody else to help them into Web3, and it's a flywheel effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I really love, the flywheel. That's how we designed our tokenomics and everything, because
you have a token?
Well, we haven't launched it yet, but we have tokenomics.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. We have like an interim virtual currency in our app called a gem. So we're keeping track of that. You earn gems for doing various things, taking courses, creating them, engaging with the community. But what we want to do is incentivize to make it a generational thing. So when people do go through and they've completed their courses, that they stick around because they'll have like stake tokens and other investment in the platform. To kind of help then, almost as like a TA or, to help the next generation then go up.
Absolutely.
And they could be like the first line of like answering questions and things like that. So
yeah, that totally makes sense.
What we're shooting for.
That's like, that's the North Star from literally from somebody to go from, hey, I think I'm coming into Web3, I'm going to take a course, go from 0 to 1. Hey, I'm succeeding in my career. Hey, I'm going to come back onto the platform and create additional income for myself by creating those courses to help more people. That's like the ultimate flywheel, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the trick too with doing it all with making a system that does that. So, but I think we're cracking it.
So let's talk a little bit about, I want to circle back to the team because again, our community is very interested in how do I land a job in Web3. Oh, sure. And so if they wanted, you're not hiring right now, but probably will be in the future over the next year, whether that's like senior level people to like maybe junior level interns, who knows. How does somebody go about getting their resume in front of you and your company?
Oh, sure. Yeah, if they want to, they can just, go to our website. Or I guess go, to our Telegram. Yeah. It's just at Continuum.xyz, or go to our Discord, which is just, /Continuum.xyz in there, and just ask around. Probably reach out to Brian or myself. If you mean like literally how can someone go? Yes, that's the way. Yeah, so that would be the way. Like we had experimented with different types of job ad platforms too, with like, especially for Web3, there's like nothing. Yeah, there's no successor, but so that's how they would do it if they wanted to do it right now.
And what do you look for in candidates?
Sure. Yeah. So I think, like you mentioned before, it's you always have to test out working with someone, because you never know. You could have, and a lot of times the people that present well and interview the best are often not the ones who do the job the best. So I think you have to try out with actually working with someone. So sort of have like a 30-day probational period or something where you work as a contractor. But what I look for best, I think I would say company cultural things, not cultural in the traditional sense, but just that they have like a good attitude towards things, that they're positive, not negative, don't
Yeah.
gossipy, things like that they just have an overall like good attitude. Not saying they don't have to be realistic on things, but I think that's probably the like the top thing. Of course, the technical skill, or showing some level of technical aptitude, even if they're not up to par with everything we need, but just to show that they can, get up to speed if needed, or or that they're I think too, like a self-learner, someone that's always a forever student, or
yes. Yeah, and I think like best case scenario too is that you end up hiring somebody that even came through your community. Could you? I mean, that's even like the best, right? They came in, they're also teaching, and then they eventually level up their resume enough to be able to actually work for the company.
Yeah.
Whoa, that would be great.
And we do have people like that have come through, and now they're
really,
they help us with certain things and like community and help on social media and stuff like that. And
very cool. Okay, so for anybody that's listening, how do they find out more about what you're building?
You could just go to Continuum.xyz. That's the best thing.
And anything else to plug?
Anything else to plug?
Anything else you want to while I go like this?
Oh yeah. I think that's about it. We're raising money right now, but I don't know if that's the right audience.
No, you never know.
Yeah, reach out.
Yeah.
We have a notion. We have a memo and all kinds of stuff.
Great. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.